So when I was doing my psychology degree, I was around a lot of researchers, and I would often ask them really cool questions. And I remember there was an addiction researcher that was around, and I asked her, I'm like, tell me something that you think people should know. Tell me something that you think is so important for other people to know about addiction. And she told me, she was like, it's really hard for us to get the mice addicted. Mice don't want to become addicted. And this is just, let's zoom out and discuss science and how research is conducted. So, for those that don't really know, the word lab rat came from the fact that often in laboratories we use mice to conduct science, meaning that let's say if you want to study more about addiction, you basically get them addicted and you get to find out which parts of their brains are activated or whatever, or give them a form of treatment plan before you would conduct it with humans, because it's safer to conduct things on mice before humans. Anyway, so she told me it's very hard for us to get them addicted, and the way they conduct these experiments is by putting water, like in their water they would put a form of whether it's heroin or cocaine or whatever it may be. Obviously it's legally obtained because it's for the sake of science, but they would get it and then they would put it in the water and then they would get them addicted to the water. But these mice will not be addicted if they're around other mice and that they're living happy lives. They need to be by themselves, isolated. And mice are like humans, they're social creatures. So they need social interactions. So when I was going through this, my 9 steps towards overcoming addiction, and now I turned it into a 33-day series because there's just so much to cover and I wanted bite-sized pieces for everyone. Within that, I discuss environment often. It is something that I will bring up and have brought up on numerous times. And within that, it's, social company. And let's talk about loneliness in and of themselves, because you could be surrounded by a lot of people and still feel very lonely. Because loneliness is whether you feel like people see you, they hear you, they understand you. And the way our society nowadays is structured for us to do things in isolations or as individuals, when naturally we would actually be doing these things as a social collective. For example, cooking was something that was done as a collective. You had the village or whatever, or the people around you. You would cook together and you would provide it with people together. Laundry was something that was done with other people. All of the cleaning, all of these things that now have become individual tasks were social tasks, were things that were done in union with other people. A lot of people have said or connected and theorized that it's one of the things that capitalism or neoliberalism or has done is basically isolate and capitalize on the individual and isolated them and made them do all these tasks by themselves. And so that when they go and see other people and socialize, they have to pay a price for it. Meaning, like, if you want to see your friends, you have to pay for a movie ticket, or you have to pay for a restaurant ticket, or you have to pay for whatever it is. Therefore, it has you continue be a clog in the machine. But that's a whole other conversation. Our conversation is the fact that we live in a really, 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 really lonely society. Loneliness is an epidemic. Beyond that, it's an issue that is mainly there, especially males feel more isolated than females. And in terms of addiction, I want you to sit back and see, hey, am I alone? Am I lonely? Am I feeling the void of human connectivity with this substance, with this action, with whatever it is that I am doing, because I'm not surrounded by the right people? And what's even worse, if you are surrounded by people that are in that circle, that do what you do, that are addicted, and then you are in the circle where it has become so normalized. So step number 1, I want you to look at the people that you're surrounded by. Are they doing the same thing that you are doing? If so, you need to find different people, whether they are people that are going through recovery. There are so many groups online. There are so many ways that you could reach out for group recovery. There's a reason why AA and all of these things are so popular, is because having that social cohesion really helps. And I want you to ask yourself, am I alone? Do I feel lonely? And do I feel like I'm not connecting with people? And if that's the case, then I think I will create a video on how to connect with people that are like-minded, especially when you are someone that's an outlier like myself. It's very, very easy to feel alone, because just not many people understand you or understand the way you think or the way you are. But it doesn't mean that you are meant to live a lonely life. It just means that you need to use different ways or different tactics to put yourself in the right places with the right circles, surrounded by the right people. So that's a whole other video. But beyond that, I just really want you to look around and ask yourself, what void am I filling with this addiction? And how is my environment or my social life adding towards this? Now, we always end this with a task or a homework or something to do. Task sounds so tedious, but homework sounds like something you have to do. I think we need to create a name for this, like for your accomplishment of the day. We like accomplishment. Capitalism. Before you go out, oh, you're so I'm not anti-capitalism. I'm not it, but you can also point out the downsides of the system that we live in, because not everything has only good. There is also bad to it, and for us to make the most out of something, we need to know the bad. So back to our accomplishment. For today, I want you to sit down and write, what is the ideal social situation for you? What is your dream community, and what do they look like? Your dream friends, your dream partners, your dream relationships. And here's the thing about relationships. Relationships is like an umbrella term, meaning relationship includes like your relationship with yourself, which is the most important relationship, is a relationship that you have with yourself. Your relationship with your family, your relationship with your co-workers, your relationship with your romantic partners, your relationship with your friends, and with your acquaintances, and with strangers that you meet. So I really want you to take each aspect and see what is the ideal situation for you in order for you to really, really, really feel fulfilled. What would make your heart feel full in terms of your social life? That, and again, we always paint pictures on what we want our life to be like, because we need to have a destination to go towards while enjoying the journey. And this is the journey. So I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.